Morocco. The name itself conjures images of vibrant markets, ancient cities, and vast, sweeping deserts. It's a land steeped in history, a crossroads of cultures, and a place where the whispers of the past echo through the present. The very name promised mystery and ancient tales, stories etched in stone and whispered on the wind. I imagined myself wandering through labyrinthine alleyways, uncovering secrets hidden for centuries. I arrived with a suitcase full of dreams, carefully packed alongside my clothes and travel guides. Each item felt like a promise of the adventures to come, and a heart brimming with anticipation, eager to soak in every sight, sound, and scent that Morocco had to offer. I was ready to be swept away by its magic. The flight felt like a prelude to magic, a soaring journey into a land of enchantment. Looking out the window, I could already glimpse the diverse landscapes that awaited me. Stepping onto Moroccan soil, I felt an immediate connection to this ancient land. The air was warm and inviting, filled with exotic scents that danced around me, teasing my senses with their unfamiliar allure. A delightful mix of spices and sweet perfumes, a fragrant tapestry woven from the essence of Morocco itself. It was intoxicating. Busy sounds surrounded me, a vibrant symphony of urban life. People chatting, music playing, creating a lively and energetic atmosphere that was both captivating and comforting. It was a world away from my everyday life. My adventure had truly begun, and I couldn't wait to see what lay around the next corner. The architecture was stunning, a testament to the rich history and artistic heritage of this land. Intricate archways and beautifully tiled walls, each detail telling a story of craftsmanship and cultural pride. The colors were mesmerizing. Every corner held a new discovery, a hidden gem waiting to be unearthed. I was eager to explore, to see everything, to immerse myself completely in the Moroccan experience. The thought of the Sahara Desert loomed large, a vast and mysterious expanse that beckoned me with its silent grandeur. A golden promise on the horizon, a shimmering mirage of adventure and self-discovery. I had dreamt of its endless sands for ages, picturing myself lost in its immensity, surrounded by nothing but the sky and the dunes. The idea of riding a camel felt like stepping into a marvelous old film, a romantic and timeless image of desert travel. This trip was more than a holiday. It was a chance to disconnect from the ordinary and reconnect with myself. It felt like a pilgrimage to find something truly special, a deeper understanding of the world and my place within it. And I couldn't wait to set off, to embrace the unknown, and to let Morocco work its magic on my soul. The journey to the Sahara was an adventure in itself. We traveled for hours through rugged mountains and charming villages. The landscape changed with every mile, each view more breathtaking than the last. Anticipation built with every turn. And then suddenly, there it was, the Sahara. A golden mirage, vast and awe-inspiring. The sand stretched endlessly, great dunes rising like silent waves. The sky above was a brilliant cloudless blue. I gasped. It was more beautiful than I imagined. The scale was staggering, making me feel small, yet connected to something ancient. The silence was profound, broken only by the whisper of the wind. It seemed to carry secrets from centuries gone by. The colors shifted constantly from pale honey to deep apricot. The dunes, sculpted by the wind, were masterpieces of nature. I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. This was it. The legendary Sahara Desert. I stood, completely mesmerized. The anticipation had been building ever since we set foot in the Sahara. We'd traveled far, crossing landscapes that shifted from rocky plains to the first whispers of sand. Now, the moment was finally here. Soon, it was time to meet our desert companions. These weren't just any animals. They were the key to unlocking the heart of the desert. The camels. Majestic creatures adorned with colorful Berber blankets and traditional saddles. They stood as silent sentinels of the sands. Each one seemed to possess a unique personality, a quiet dignity that commanded respect. They stood patiently, with long necks, their silhouettes stark against the vast expanse of the desert sky. They were calm, unhurried, as if they had all the time in the world, a stark contrast to our own hurried lives back home, and famously long eyelashes. These weren't just for show. They were essential tools for survival, protecting their eyes from the harsh desert sun and the ever-present sand. Looking into their eyes, you could sense a deep wisdom, a connection to the ancient rhythms of the desert. Our Berber guides greeted us warmly, their smiles genuine and welcoming. They were the keepers of this land, the guardians of its secrets, their faces kind and weathered by the sun. Each line etched on their skin told a story of resilience, of a life lived in harmony with the desert. They were the embodiment of the Berber spirit, strong, resourceful, and deeply connected to their heritage. They knew the desert intimately, every dune, every hidden oasis, every subtle shift in the wind. They could read the landscape like a book, understanding its moods and its secrets. I felt instantly safe in their company. Their calm demeanor and quiet confidence were reassuring, a promise that we were in good hands. They exuded a sense of peace that was contagious, helping to ease any anxieties we might have had about venturing into the unknown. The guides taught us about the camels, sharing their knowledge with patience and enthusiasm. They spoke of the camels with respect and affection, as if they were members of their own families. How they're perfectly adapted to desert life. They explained how their humps stored fat, providing them with energy and hydration, how their thick coats protected them from the scorching sun and the freezing nights, and how their wide feet allowed them to walk effortlessly on the shifting sands. They called them ships of the desert, a fitting name for these majestic creatures that have navigated the sands for centuries. And I saw why. They moved with a grace and power that was both mesmerizing and humbling, their silhouettes etched against the endless dunes. Strong, resilient, yet gentle, they were a paradox, a testament to the power of adaptation and the beauty of nature. I was introduced to my camel, a moment I had been eagerly anticipating. It felt like meeting a new friend, a partner for the journey ahead, who had a calm look in his big eyes. His gaze was steady and reassuring, as if he knew exactly what lay ahead and was ready to face it with unwavering resolve. I gave his soft nose a pat. His skin was surprisingly smooth and warm to the touch. He seemed to understand, tilting his head slightly as if acknowledging my presence. It was a silent connection, a moment of understanding between two different species. Mounting a camel was an experience, a unique blend of awkwardness and excitement. Kneeling, then rising in stages. The first lurch forward was unexpected, followed by another as he straightened his back legs. I giggled, holding on tight, feeling a surge of adrenaline as I adjusted to the new perspective. But once up, the view was marvelous. The desert stretched out before me, an endless sea of sand under a vast azure sky. My camel seemed content, his gait steady and rhythmic as he began to walk, a gentle giant ready for our trek. He was a vessel carrying me into the heart of the Sahara towards an adventure I would never forget. Our guides showed us how to tie our headscarves, demonstrating the intricate folds and knots with practiced ease, for sun and sand protection. The scarves not only shielded us from the elements, but also added a touch of Berber style to our appearance. Their respect for the desert and its animals was clear, evident in every gesture and every word. They treated the camels with kindness and consideration, ensuring their comfort and well-being. Their connection to this land was deep, a bond forged over generations of living in harmony with the desert. I felt privileged to share this adventure with them, to witness their deep connection to the land and their unwavering respect for its creatures. It was more than just a camel trek. It was an immersion into a different way of life, a chance to learn from those who truly understood the meaning of resilience and harmony. Our camel train set off into the heart of the Golden Sahara. The camel's movement was slow and rhythmic, a gentle hypnotic sway. The only sounds were the soft padding of camel feet and the occasional snort. Riding through the vastness brought a profound sense of freedom. No roads, no buildings, just endless rolling dunes. I tried to absorb every detail, wind patterns in the sand, the play of light on the dunes. Sometimes a tiny desert flower surprised us, a splash of color in the gold. Our guides pointed out animal tracks and hardy desert plants. They navigated by the sun and stars. Time seemed to slow down out there. No rush, just the steady pace of our caravan. A deep sense of peace settled over me. Worries melted away, replaced by quiet joy. This was travel at its purest. As afternoon faded, the light began to change, subtly at first, then with increasing drama. The sun, which had been a constant companion in the sky, began its slow transformation, preparing to yield to the approaching night. The landscape responded in kind, the sands shifting from a bright, almost blinding glare to a softer, more inviting hue. The sun started its slow descent, a majestic fiery orb sinking towards the horizon. It was a daily ritual, yet each sunset felt unique, a masterpiece painted across the vast expanse of the sky, painting the desert in new, warmer tones. The golden light bathed the dunes, accentuating their curves and contours, creating a landscape of breathtaking beauty. The sand seemed to shimmer, reflecting the sun's radiant energy. Shades of orange, deepening with each passing moment, began to dominate the scene. The desert floor transformed into a sea of fire, the dunes appearing as waves frozen in time. Pink, delicate and ethereal, softened the harshness of the landscape. The sky above mirrored the sands below, creating a sense of harmony and balance. And fiery red swept across the sands, igniting the horizon with its intensity. It was a dramatic display, a testament to the power and beauty of nature. Each dune seemed to glow from within, as if infused with the very essence of the setting sun. The light played across their surfaces, creating a mesmerizing dance of shadow and illumination. We stopped on a high dune to watch the sunset, seeking a vantage point to fully appreciate the spectacle unfolding before us. The vastness of the desert stretched out in every direction, a canvas upon which nature painted its masterpiece. The silence was absolute, breathtaking, broken only by the occasional whisper of the wind. It was a silence that spoke volumes, a silence that allowed us to connect with the raw beauty of the desert. The sun dipped lower, inching closer to the horizon, its light growing ever more intense. The air crackled with anticipation, as if the desert itself was holding its breath, casting long dramatic shadows that stretched across the dunes like fingers reaching out to embrace the night. The shadows danced and shifted, creating an ever-changing tapestry of light and darkness. The sky transformed into a canvas of purple, a regal hue that spoke of mystery and enchantment. It was a color that hinted at the magic that was to come, the secrets that would be revealed under the cloak of darkness. Gold, shimmering and radiant, adding a touch of opulence to the scene. The golden light seemed to linger, reluctant to fade, as if trying to hold on to the day for just a little longer. And crimson, a final burst of fiery energy before the sun disappeared completely. The crimson light painted the clouds with vibrant strokes, creating a breathtaking spectacle. It was one of the most beautiful sunsets, a symphony of colors and light that unfolded before our very eyes. It was a moment that transcended the ordinary, a glimpse into the sublime I've ever seen. A memory that I knew I would cherish for a lifetime. The sheer scale of the landscape, combined with the intensity of the colors, created an experience that was both humbling and awe-inspiring. There was a raw, untouched quality to it, a sense of pristine wilderness that stretched as far as the eye could see. It was a reminder of the power and resilience of nature, a testament to its ability to create beauty in even the harshest of environments. No distractions, just nature's glory, pure and unadulterated. There were no buildings, no roads, no signs of human interference, just the endless expanse of sand and sky. A moment of pure wonder, etched in memory, a reminder of the beauty that exists in the world, waiting to be discovered. It was a moment that would stay with me long after I had left the desert behind. Even after the sun vanished, disappearing below the horizon, its presence lingered in the sky. The desert held onto the warmth and light, reluctant to let go of the day. The sky glowed with afterlight, a soft, ethereal radiance that painted the landscape in subtle hues. The afterglow was a reminder of the sun's power, its ability to transform the world even after it had disappeared. The colors softened to pastel lavender, a gentle, soothing shade that calmed the senses. The lavender sky created a sense of peace and tranquility, a welcome respite after the intensity of the sunset. And rose, delicate and romantic, adding a touch of warmth to the cool desert air. The rose-colored sky was a reminder of the beauty that can be found in the simplest of things. The air grew cooler, a welcome change after the heat of the day. The desert began to breathe, exhaling the warmth it had absorbed throughout the afternoon. A gentle breeze whispering across the dunes, carrying the scent of sand and the promise of night. The breeze was a gentle caress, a reminder of the desert's subtle beauty. It felt like the desert was breathing softly, preparing for a night of rest and rejuvenation. The desert seemed to sigh, content after a day of basking in the sun, preparing for night, a time of mystery and magic, when the stars would emerge to illuminate the darkness. The transition from day to night was a seamless one, a natural progression that felt both inevitable and enchanting. The magic of the Sahara was just beginning, promising a night filled with wonder and adventure. As darkness descended, the desert transformed into a different world, a world of shadows and secrets, waiting to be explored. As darkness fell, the desert revealed another wonder, the stars. With no city lights, the night sky was a velvet canopy, glittering with countless stars. The Milky Way stretched across it like a luminous river. I felt as if I could reach out and touch them. We sat around a crackling campfire, cozy and warm. The silence of the desert night was profound, full of unseen rustlings and whispers. Our Berber guides pointed out constellations, sharing ancient stories. Their voices blended with the night, connecting us to history. Lying in my tent later, I looked up through a small opening. The stars seemed to watch over us like friendly guardians. The cool desert air was fresh and pure. I felt a calm I hadn't felt in ages. The desert stripped away the unnecessary, leaving only peace and beauty. The warmth of Moroccan hospitality was truly special in the heart of the Sahara. Our Berber hosts welcomed us like old friends, their kindness abundant. They prepared a delicious meal over the campfire, the aroma of spices filling the air. We gathered around the fire, sharing stories and laughter. Our guides told us about their culture, traditions, and music. After dinner, they brought out drums, and the night came alive with Berber music. Some of us danced, celebrating under the stars. Laughter echoed in the still desert air, a moment of pure connection. They served sweet mint tea, poured with great skill. We talked and laughed late into the night, feeling like part of their desert family. This hospitality was genuine, a memory I'll always treasure. My journey through the Sahara was more than a trip, it touched my soul. The vastness of the desert put everything into perspective. My worries seemed so small. The silence taught me the beauty of stillness and the importance of listening to nature and to myself. The raw beauty of the Sahara was humbling. It reminded me of the power of nature and the need to preserve wild places. The resilience of desert life and the Berber people filled me with respect. This adventure changed my view of travel. It was about connecting with people, culture, and the natural world. The simplicity of desert life was refreshing. Happiness isn't in possessions but in experiences and connection. I left a piece of my heart in the Sahara and took with me its silence, beauty, and wisdom. For that, I will be forever grateful.